The things that are really bad for Parkinson's is stress. And, I tell people, fear is about pain, but none of the fear has happened yet. But this is pain.
Yeah.
So if this is it, what's it going to be like on that long flight? What's it going to be like on that train? Stress not good. The other important thing about Parkinson's, you got to move. You got to get up and move. You got to walk. You got to move. You got to keep everything going. In the Parkinson's world, there's all kinds of activities. And there's a great group in Houston called Houston Area Parkinson's Society. They do a lot of things. A thing that a lot of people do is boxing. These Parkinson's people, they have a thing hanging and they're punching the boxing bag, and everybody, boy, that really helps me. I go to therapy, and they're tremendous. They know me, and I can throw the ball and whatever. But you have to exercise. You just have to, and I do.
You talked about your faith. How is it that your faith is helping you through the pain, the unknown, that's huge?
Here's my end of the day of my faith. I know the end. I know where I'll be. That's the good news. No pain in heaven.
That's true.
Now, I used to laugh and say, I hope I die in bed making love to my wife when I'm 103. Don't think that's going to happen, but I do know where I'll be and what it will be like. Did I expect Parkinson's? No. Did I expect pain? No. So, it's not what I expected, but you know what they say, I make plans, God laughs.
You mentioned, since we're on pain, I want to ask you, because you had mentioned that when you went golfing, you took your Advil with you.
Right.
Does Advil help with the pain? I'm just,
Well, all of those formula like ibuprofen, Advil are really horrible for your body.
Oh, okay.
They're short-term pain relievers and they kill your stomach. That's a given. So before I leave to play golf, I take 2 Advil because it helps. And I've always had Advil on the golf cart with me. I play golf with older guys that have hip problems and back problems and arm problems. When I get up in the morning, sitting on my little side table, I've got 2 Advil and 2 of my high-cost Crexont pills. And I've got the glass there so I can reach it and my little fingers aren't working and take my painkiller. But as a rule, I don't take 12 a day. Some people do.
You probably talked about another one, but what are some of your symptoms? I told you I interviewed a friend, he never mentioned pain, but he had problems standing.
Right.
So what are some of your, let's talk about the negative. Let's talk about what are some of the effects that it has for you, and then I'll talk about the positive.
Well, I don't have a lot of the Parkinson's body stuff. They're motion neurologists that help people with how to move. I don't have this herky-jerky. I have a really dear friend. He's a dentist. He got Parkinson's 10 years ago, and he's still around. He's good. He's a man of faith. But he has a lot more of that.
Yeah.
He had to retire, and when I'd see him, he'd be like that. I don't have any of that. It's called dyskinesia. Now I have what's called bradykinesia. When I'm really off, my whole body is shaking. I can feel it. You can't see it. But when I'm eating, we'll go out and I'll be sitting there with my kids and I'm trying to get a bite in my mouth. It's just fine body skills. I don't, writing, I'm still trying to write. And I have a lot of things I want to write, and I'm one of those old school guys that writes it.
Yeah.
And now my writing is like insane. My little tiny bitty characters, crossword puzzles, or doing things I want to write for my ministry are different. those are the real deal stuff you live with every day. Buttoning your shirt. So I always set up at night. I put a cup of coffee next to the pods. So all I have to do is push the button. Pushing the button in the microwave to warm my coffee is painful. Just things you never think about.
Yeah, things they take for granted.
Yeah, but the good news, I can still drive. And wow, that's a big deal for an 88-year-old. I had a joke I used to tell people when they were saying, "How you doing, Stan?" I was 75 and I was old. I'd go, "Well, they're still letting me drive like an ass." But now they're still letting me drive, so hey.